What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I pray you have a blessed day and a weekend. It's the one. Where's my secret lover? Come out and play. Crooked lawyer, you're going down anyway. 'Cause you've been rooked and you knew the law, but you saw money. Anyway, gonna be eating ramen noodles now. No money, no money. Gonna be in prison, buddy. Somebody's going to prison, or you just broke. These crooked lawyers are going to prison. They're going to jail for sure. Hey, swells be good, man. So you're gonna eat them. I'm telling you. Believe me, I don't give a shit what you say. You go in there. At some point, you're gonna eat them. They don't feed you enough. They feed you. Sometimes you don't want to eat. Really, to the truth. I mean, it gets all right after a while. Cause, I mean, you got to, but ain't no telling what they doing to that shit. Unless you in there making it, you're taking a gamble, rolling the dice every time you eat. First Amendment. So these crooked lawyers that are going to jail, that are, you know, they're just crooked. Well, they're just no good. And what they did was they stomped on your First Amendment right, because they never even gave you the chance to speak. Even about your case, they never asked you anything. They never done any fucking thing, period. And when you did try to speak, they just shut it up. They didn't listen to it. They didn't anyway. And possibly they these crooked lawyers, maybe this ain't just like a civil case or like a criminal case. Maybe these crooked lawyers have something to do with, like Google, YouTube. These are, what I mean? And maybe they've been going after people that they don't agree with, that they don't agree with their politics, their religion, their points of views, and they've been stepping on people's First Amendment's rights. You know what I mean? To keep them shut up and quiet, because they didn't want whatever narrative that these other people were putting out. They didn't, what I mean? Because they were, they weren't part of it. So these crooked lawyers were working for some corrupt ass people, and found some way, loopholes, go around whatever the hell, what I mean, to step on these people's step on your First Amendment's rights, and keep you broke, busted, and in jail. Try to kill you. Whatever, everything. But now these crooked lawyers are going down. They've been caught, and they know it. Prostitution. Possibly these people that are over these crooked lawyers were using these crooked lawyers and prostitutes to step on your First Amendment rights, to keep you shut up, to hurt you, destroy you, to keep you drugged up, to keep you drugged up and then poison you and every fucking thing else, and keep you broke and in a low vibration. Even though ramen noodles ain't nothing wrong with ramen noodles, but when it is a universal fact that when you see ramen noodles, you think of the little packets at the thing that are super cheap, and they're just really low grade, low budget food. You know what I'm saying? And it's for, you know, most people in jail you eat ramen noodles. Okay, so we're talking about low vibration here, and you know these crooked lawyers and these prostitutes are in low vibration, and they were sent after you to step on your First Amendment rights and probably to kill you. You know, it was a murder for hire for sure. You know, and probably where murders abound around. You know, to set you up. And are, you know, ramen noodles right now. This could be happening right now, this moment, whenever you're watching it, or this could have been RN, registered nurse, involved also. That maybe registered nurse is involved in prostitution, and with this crooked lawyer and stepping on your First Amendment rights, or the you know these crooked lawyers are stepping on uh, these prostitutes First Amendment rights. You know, maybe somebody's got it out for, you know, some prostitutes too. I mean, you know, it's possible. You know, and or his crooked lawyers going after like this nurse that's a prostitute on the side or something, and is trying to shut them up, keep them quiet because they, you know too much. IV, maybe they're fourth generation, you know, lawyers. You know how to kind of whatever. Or prostitute might be a fourth generation prostitute. It might be every mother was a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? They were the first. You know what I mean? Or maybe they're the first to amend the wrongs in their family. You get what I'm saying? Like they're trying, you know, to amend wrongs. You know, maybe these prostitutes and crooked lawyers are trying to amend what they did wrong, and they're having to eat ramen noodles. They're having to go like without anything to try to maybe like pay stuff back or something, or they're eating ramen noodles now. You know, these crooked lawyers that were using prostitutes or with prostitutes, or these prostitutes and crooked lawyers, you know, are using IV drugs. You know what I mean? Or they could start with a D, the fourth letter in the alphabet. Or could be a 4-letter word. Their name could be a 4-letter word. I don't know. Third world country. So we got somebody overseas. Maybe we got, all right. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, but either way, I read it how I read it, so I don't give a shit. All right. So you got some crooked lawyers that I'm taking ramen noodles. Maybe Asians. You know what I mean? So maybe these crooked lawyers are involved in some kind of third world prostitution ring, and they're stepping on these prostitutes' First Amendment rights and filling them full of IV drugs to keep them drugged up and attached to them where they can't leave and they won't say nothing, you know, because they're wanting their drug. Once they hit them with the IV, and they're fucked. You know what I'm saying? It sucks, man. You know, they're stuck. They're strung out. They don't care how many people run through them. Just give me the drug, boom. You know, it's a sad reality. You know, and there's a lot of crooked lawyers and higher up people that are stepping on people's First Amendment rights to keep this shit quiet. They do not want the human trafficking coming out, being talked about. I mean, it's so prevalent everywhere. These third world countries, you know, here. Like, I mean, I sit online all the time watching, and because I'm single, I like looking at women, you know, trying to find, you know, whatever. I ain't like trying to find, but you know, I be talking to women, I be looking, you know, whatever. My dude, come on, give me a break. But I notice a lot of shit, right? And I know there's a lot of people in like slavery that are online. They're all stars. They're very popular, very well known, but they're fucking trapped in a box, and all you see is these pictures of them. Yeah, this, but they're probably being very much abused and raped and whatever, used up like completely. In 10 years, they'll be dead or in the trash. Yeah, and I'm just being real about it. And they're using these crooked lawyers in this two-tier judicial system we have to maybe bring these third world country prostitutes. That they fill up with IV drugs and scare them and do all kinds of shit to keep them quiet and keep them barely fed. You know what I mean? And maybe they're some kind of ring. They're using these lawyers to get them like visas or somehow get them over here, and for sex slaves. You know, and I know this. It. I don't think it matters anywhere else. It's just it's less hidden in third world countries. It's wider. It's widely more accepted and out in the forefront. Here in the United States, it is just as heavy, just as bad, but it's covered up. And that's how I see it. Period. So Greece. So there might be some Greek. You might be Greek, or these prostitutes might be. There might be a lot of Greek girls or boys too, because boys get thrown just to the side. Just hey, it's a dude, take it, or this don't happen to them. I'm telling you, it happens a lot to dudes, and I, it's fucked up either way, but you know, it's fucked up either way. I can't. I'm not even gonna go into any of that. Period. On because either way, there is no side on that. It's just fucked up. All right, but these might be Greek lawyers, or they have something to do with Greece. Maybe they triangulate their ring through Greece. Something, the money, the prostitutes get delivered through Greece, drugs, whatever. I mean, but we're talking about prostitutes, so I mean human trafficking. So we'll keep it with prostitution for right now. Organ trafficking too. Blood, Red Cross. You're a fucking gang, and you're just a blood organization. I know there's probably a good side to you, but there's a bad side to you too, and it has been definitely out there. But delinquency. So maybe here in Greece they target delinquents, child delinquents, people abandoned, left by themselves, people that are seen alone, children that are seen alone. These people are targeted. They're followed. They're gang stalked. Their um, whole lives are messed up. You know what I mean? Like they don't. Sometimes and sometimes it's just they'll come and just snatch it up. But sometimes they take a while, and like this is like really a setup shit. Like this is real. And like they do just like the cops. They'll do a sting on you. You know what I mean? And watch you and get all your movements and every little detail about you and your life and whoever in your family, whatever, and decide when the best time to come in to do whatever they're gonna do. And and maybe these are delinquents. That these are delinquents that they're using to try to silence these people, murder them, keep them quiet, use out, you know what I mean? They use these delinquents to punish them, crash dummies, yeah. and they be dreams. These are dreams you have. You have dreams about this. You have dreams. I know I have had dreams of different things, but you have dreams and possibly of like saving them of or you have dreams of being like in there, whatever, dealing with it, all this, um, or or you dream of helping these people or saving them, getting their story out, getting, I mean, your dream, you dream, or their dream, or they dream of being heard. You know, this is like their biggest dream. I imagine that somebody hears their story and like can like agree with it. They like reciprocate. Like, yeah, I've been through that, or I've seen that. That's kind of weird. Yeah, now I think about it, let me do a little more research on what I've seen over here, or what, let me go to the authorities or something, and like, hey, I've seen this. This is kind of weird. I mean, even if it don't come up to nothing, you might help somebody somehow. You never know. But either way, pray you have a blessed day.